not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. These words hold a power that resonates with anyone who has faced hardship, loss, or disappointment. Every one of us will encounter moments of solitude and struggle, moments that test our resolve and shake us to our very foundation. For some, it may come as a sudden job loss, a failed business venture, or the heartbreak of losing someone dear. These aren't merely setbacks, they're the moments that define us. They are crossroads that offer us a choice, to be broken by them or to be rebuilt by them. And this choice, according to Stoic philosophy, is where our true power lies. As the Stoics have taught us for centuries, challenges are not obstacles meant to be feared or avoided. Instead, they are opportunities for growth, moments that reveal the depths of our strength, patience, and resilience. Stoic wisdom tells us that adversity is not just a disruption, but an invitation to test our virtues, to deepen our understanding, and to emerge wiser, calmer, and stronger. In today's video, we'll dive deep into how the Stoic principles of perseverance and inner strength can transform the way we see our challenges. We'll explore how these principles help us reshape adversity into the very foundation of a resilient character. You might be wondering, how could hardship possibly be a path to something better? It's natural to feel skeptical, especially when adversity feels overwhelming. But stay with me. Through stories and insights from Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca, we'll uncover a perspective on hardship that just might change how you face it. Imagine, just for a moment, that every setback, every failure, every disappointment wasn't something to fear, but a doorway to growth. Imagine what it would mean to view life's most challenging moments as part of your journey toward becoming a stronger, more resilient person. This isn't just a mindset shift, it's a way of life, one that Stoic philosophy encourages us to embrace fully. So if you're curious about how Stoicism can help you turn life's toughest trials into sources of personal power, or if you're interested in applying timeless philosophical insights to everyday challenges, make sure to subscribe and share this video with anyone who could benefit from a dose of Stoic wisdom. Together, we'll explore what it means to live a life empowered by resilience, one that finds strength not in the absence of struggle, but in our response to it. Let's dive in and uncover the Stoic approach to turning adversity into an ally. This journey may just reshape the way you see yourself and your challenges. Number 1, the seductive trap of comfort. Comfort is an alluring trap that many of us slip into without even realizing it. It's natural to seek ease, to shield ourselves from the sharp edges of life's difficulties, and to design our days in ways that minimize stress. After all, who doesn't want to feel safe, secure, and at peace? But here's a truth the Stoics understood well. Comfort, while appealing, can be deceptive. It promises a sense of safety, but if we lean on it too heavily, it can dull our resilience and ultimately leave us more vulnerable to life's inevitable challenges. Think about it. When life is smooth, when we're surrounded by our routines, it's easy to feel as though we're doing everything right. Days drift by in a predictable sequence, free from struggle. This lack of disruption might feel like success, but it can be a dangerous illusion. When we grow too accustomed to comfort, we stop challenging ourselves. We avoid the difficult, the uncomfortable, the unknown. And in doing so, we miss out on opportunities for growth and strength. The Stoic philosophers, such as Seneca and Marcus Aurelius, warned of this very pitfall. They didn't simply advocate for enjoying peace when it arrives, they encouraged us to welcome the storms as well. For them, adversity wasn't an unfortunate interruption to a good life, but an essential ingredient for a resilient one. Seneca, in fact, would advise people to periodically live as if you were poor, not to romanticize hardship, but to deliberately practice resilience against the unexpected. By experiencing what it's like to live with less, to face discomfort, we remind ourselves that we're capable of withstanding more than we might think. This approach isn't about denying ourselves all pleasures or rejecting joy. It's about fostering a mindset that doesn't shy away from life's difficulties. Growth and comfort, as the Stoics believed, don't coexist easily. True growth requires that we step beyond the boundaries of what's comfortable that we face challenges with an open heart, and that we actively seek experiences that test our resolve. In pushing our limits, we find strength we didn't know we had. When we make an intentional practice of leaving our comfort zones, we're preparing for the day when life, inevitably, takes us there without asking. In those moments of chaos, moments that may come suddenly and uninvited, our resilience will be the shield that carries us through. Comfort has its place, but relying on it exclusively can leave us unprepared and exposed. Instead, let's follow the Stoics' wisdom and view discomfort as a teacher, one that shapes us, strengthens us, and prepares us to face anything that life brings. Number 2, embracing discomfort as preparation. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean recklessly seeking pain or abandoning the need for security. Instead, it's about building a foundation of inner strength and resilience, one that can't be easily shaken when life's storms arrive. Stoicism teaches us that by proactively practicing controlled discomfort, we become better prepared for the unexpected. This isn't about suffering for its own sake. It's about gradually expanding our comfort zones and strengthening our capacity to handle challenges. Consider this: discomfort can take many forms. For one person, it might mean starting a challenging new project at work or pushing beyond familiar tasks to learn a new skill. For another, it could mean stepping out of a comfortable daily routine, even just for a short time, to test their adaptability and cultivate resilience. Each step outside the boundary of what's comfortable builds a more capable and self-reliant version of ourselves. With every instance where we voluntarily face difficulty, we learn that we're stronger than we once believed. In Stoic philosophy, perseverance, a quality often celebrated as essential to success, takes on a profound meaning. To persevere isn't simply about grinding through obstacles. It's about transforming our very approach to life. The Stoics saw perseverance as an active choice, a choice to stay the course, no matter how steep or unpredictable the path becomes. It's a commitment to our values, an intention to maintain integrity even when the end goal feels distant, or when progress feels painstakingly slow. Think of the natural world. A tree, for example, weathering the changing seasons. It doesn't simply endure, it adapts and finds ways to thrive through winter's cold and summer's heat alike. The Stoics encourage us to see ourselves in that tree, rooted, flexible, and adaptable. Like the tree, we too can flourish regardless of our external conditions if we cultivate an inner strength that doesn't rely on circumstances. This strength becomes our anchor amid life's unpredictability, providing a steady sense of direction even when everything around us feels unstable. For Stoics, the practice of embracing discomfort serves as preparation for the inevitable hardships life will throw our way. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this often in Meditations, urging himself to face difficulties with calm resolve and to remember that obstacles are not setbacks, but opportunities for growth. Each moment of discomfort or inconvenience is a training ground, a chance to build the mental and emotional muscles that will sustain us when real adversity comes. This kind of preparation is a powerful gift we give to ourselves. It's the skill of resilience, one that only grows stronger with use. Imagine what it would mean if, instead of fearing discomfort, we welcomed it as a teacher. Instead of avoiding challenging conversations, we leaned into them. Instead of steering clear of new responsibilities, we took them on with curiosity. By doing so, we slowly transform our relationship with discomfort from something to be avoided to something that strengthens us. And when we practice this regularly, we become not only resilient, but courageous in facing life's uncertainties. Number 3, developing resilience through perseverance. In Stoic philosophy, resilience and perseverance are fundamental virtues, and Epictetus emphasized that we should actively engage with challenges rather than shy away from them. He viewed every hardship not merely as an obstacle to endure, but as an opportunity to strengthen our character, to test our resolve, and to refine our understanding of ourselves. To the Stoics, perseverance is not about blindly pushing forward at all costs. Rather, it is a mindful, reflective practice. It requires discernment, knowing when to persist and when to adapt our approach. Imagine walking along a difficult path. Stoic perseverance would have us stay focused on our journey, but it doesn't mean ignoring signs that we may need to slow down, alter our route, or even pause to reassess. Each act of perseverance, whether in the face of large obstacles or small frustrations, is a deliberate choice that brings us closer to self-mastery, the Stoics' ultimate goal. It is through these choices that we cultivate inner strength, patience, and fortitude, all essential qualities for navigating life's challenges. The Stoics also believed in the value of failure, viewing it as a profound teacher. Failure, rather than being a dead end, is a necessary part of the path to growth. It reveals to us our weaknesses, helping us recognize where we have room to improve. In this sense, failure is not a judgment on our character, but an invitation to refine it. When we stumble or fall short, Stoicism encourages us to view these setbacks as steps in our journey, opportunities to gather insights that we couldn't gain through success alone. By reframing failure as a valuable part of the process, we can stay committed even when the road is rough. This attitude toward failure is vital for true resilience. Instead of being discouraged by mistakes or setbacks, the Stoic perspective helps us see them as necessary for progress. In fact, each time we fail and choose to continue forward, we're fortifying our perseverance. Rather than diminishing us, failure serves to deepen our understanding of ourselves and our goals. The Stoics understood that mastery doesn't come from an unbroken string of successes, but through the hard-earned lessons that only struggle and failure can reveal. Moreover, perseverance in Stoic philosophy nurtures a unique kind of hope. This hope is not the blind optimism of expecting everything to go smoothly, but rather a grounded, realistic hope rooted in our capacity to endure. It's the kind of hope that says, no matter what happens, I am prepared to face it. The Stoics believed that resilience fosters this resilient hope, one that sustains us through difficult times and keeps us from despair. By developing a hopeful outlook based on our inner strength, we find purpose and direction, even when the external world feels unpredictable or challenging. Number 4, inner strength as a choice. Inner strength is often seen as an inherent trait, a gift reserved for those with a natural capacity for resilience. But Stoicism teaches us a powerful truth. Inner strength isn't something rare or unreachable. It's a choice we make every day, an ongoing practice that anyone can cultivate. In fact, the Stoic Marcus Aurelius famously said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." With this statement, Marcus reminds us that true strength doesn't come from outside circumstances or luck. It is rooted in how we choose to respond to life. This perspective places the responsibility for our resilience on our own shoulders. It challenges us to recognize that while we can't control everything that happens to us, we always have control over our reactions. And this is the essence of Stoic inner strength, a daily, sometimes moment-to-moment choice to master our reactions rather than be mastered by them. For instance, choosing not to respond in anger when someone provokes us, or deciding to remain hopeful even when the odds seem stacked against us, are powerful demonstrations of inner strength. In practice, this often means stepping back and observing our initial impulses, asking ourselves whether our reactions align with our values and long-term goals. When faced with adversity, choosing inner strength is choosing to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Imagine you receive unexpected bad news at work, and your first instinct is panic or frustration. The Stoic choice would be to take a breath, assess the situation calmly, and focus on constructive next steps. This doesn't mean repressing emotions, but rather guiding them in a way that helps rather than hinders us. One of the most powerful tools Stoics used to cultivate inner strength was the practice of daily reflection. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, would often review his actions, reactions, and even his thoughts, examining where he had stayed true to his principles and where he could improve. This practice of reflection, reviewing the day's successes and failures without judgment, heightens self-awareness and strengthens our commitment to resilience. By looking inward and honestly assessing our behavior, we reinforce our intention to live with integrity and wisdom. Each day's reflection becomes an opportunity to renew our choice of inner strength, learning from our missteps and building a stronger foundation for tomorrow. Choosing inner strength also involves a commitment to perspective. When life feels overwhelming, Stoicism encourages us to take a step back and remind ourselves of the bigger picture. Imagine, for instance, facing a difficult season in life, a time of loss, transition, or personal hardship. By choosing to see this experience as part of a larger journey, a chapter that will eventually lead to growth and understanding, we tap into a profound inner strength. This perspective allows us to navigate even the hardest times with resilience, knowing that we are shaping ourselves through each challenge. Inner strength, then, is not just about being unbreakable. It's about learning to bend without losing our integrity. It's about recognizing that we can remain grounded even when life feels chaotic. When we choose inner strength, we're actively choosing to cultivate patience, courage, and a kind of unshakable peace. We're choosing to rise above the immediate emotions and impulses that try to pull us in every direction, anchoring ourselves in principles that guide us toward our best selves. In the end, inner strength is the ability to remain steady through life's ups and downs, to stand firm not because we are immune to struggle, but because we have chosen to cultivate resilience, compassion, and perspective. Stoicism shows us that this kind of strength is within reach of everyone. It's not an extraordinary gift, but an ordinary choice made each day that shapes who we are. With each choice, each moment of reflection, and each act of acceptance, we grow stronger, better prepared to face whatever life may bring. Number 5. Challenges as catalysts for growth. From a Stoic perspective, challenges aren't merely roadblocks or disruptions. They are invaluable opportunities for growth, the very moments that forge our character. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus and Seneca emphasized that adversity, rather than something to be avoided, should be embraced as a catalyst for profound transformation. They believed that hardship doesn't diminish us. Instead, it reveals untapped reservoirs of resilience, wisdom, and inner strength. Think about the last significant challenge you faced. At the time, it likely felt daunting, even overwhelming. Perhaps it was a job loss, a personal setback, or a relationship that ended. In the moment, you may have wished for it to go away, to return to the ease and predictability of life before the hardship. But now, looking back, you might see how that experience changed you. Maybe it helped you discover an inner resilience you didn't know you had, taught you a lesson that reshaped your worldview, or pushed you to develop skills you wouldn't have pursued otherwise. This ability to see challenges as exercises for the mind and soul is central to Stoic philosophy. Epictetus taught that we should approach adversity much like physical training. Just as exercise strengthens our bodies through resistance and strain, life's challenges fortify our character and values. Stoicism teaches that each obstacle is an opportunity to practice virtues like patience, courage, and humility. When we approach hardship with this mindset, we start to see adversity not as something that diminishes us, but as something that completes us, allowing us to develop a fuller, more resilient version of ourselves. This approach is perhaps best summarized in the Stoic concept that the obstacle is the way. It's a powerful idea that encourages us to face our challenges head-on rather than shying away from them. The very obstacles we try to avoid, those things we perceive as standing in the way of our happiness, are in fact the paths to our growth. Imagine a weightlifter at the gym. Without resistance, without weights to push against, there can be no strength building. Just as the weightlifter grows stronger by increasing the load they bear, we too become stronger by facing greater challenges. Each hardship we overcome serves as a stepping stone, building us up rather than breaking us down. Moreover, the Stoics believed that our reaction to adversity is where true growth occurs. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on how every hardship was an opportunity to exercise his virtues, to practice patience, gratitude, or wisdom. When we face a challenge, we are given a choice in how we respond. Will we become bitter and resentful, or will we rise to the occasion with integrity and resolve? In choosing the latter, we not only handle the immediate problem more effectively, but also prepare ourselves for future challenges. Each time we choose resilience, we strengthen that muscle, making it easier to face adversity with grace and strength the next time around. In the end, this perspective turns life into a continuous process of self-improvement. Instead of fearing hardship, Stoicism encourages us to welcome it, to see it as a critical component of personal development. When we adopt this mindset, we can face challenges with a sense of purpose, knowing that each obstacle we overcome builds our resilience, shapes our character, and brings us closer to the person we aspire to be. So the next time life presents you with a challenge, consider it not as a barrier to your happiness, but as a doorway to your growth. Remember that the obstacle is the way, and that every hardship you face is an invitation to become stronger, wiser, and more grounded. Through this Stoic lens, adversity is no longer something to dread, but rather a meaningful part of the journey toward a life of purpose, resilience, and inner strength. Number 6. The power of reflection and the Stoic mindset. Adopting a Stoic mindset is about transforming how we perceive and react to the inevitable challenges life throws our way. At the core of Stoicism is the understanding that our thoughts and reactions are the only true sources of control we have. While we cannot dictate the external events that come our way, we can choose how to respond to them. This sense of inner control allows us to face adversity with a calm, rational mind, reducing its impact on our well-being and empowering us to navigate even the toughest circumstances. The first step to embracing the Stoic mindset is learning to distinguish between our perceptions of events and the events themselves. In Stoic philosophy, it's not the events themselves that disturb us, but the judgments we attach to them. Consider losing a job as an example. Initially, it may feel catastrophic, stirring up feelings of fear, frustration, or failure. But when we pause and reflect, we might see that this loss, painful as it may be, opens a door to new possibilities, an opportunity to realign with our true passions or pursue a path that better suits our values. This shift in perception doesn't erase the difficulty of the situation, but allows us to approach it with a constructive mindset. Marcus Aurelius, in his personal writings, often reminded himself that it's our ability to reframe challenges that determines our peace of mind. He would write that the impediment to action advances action, meaning that every obstacle, when viewed through the right lens, is an opportunity to practice resilience, patience, and courage. By adopting this perspective, we start to see that difficulties are not interruptions in our lives. They are part of the journey, testing and strengthening our virtues. The Stoics believed that every hardship we encounter could serve as a lesson in character development. This perspective doesn't encourage passive suffering, but rather an active engagement with life's complexities. Each hardship becomes a chance to grow wiser and more virtuous. When we face a difficult situation, we're given the opportunity to cultivate qualities like patience, humility, and strength. For instance, a conflict with a friend or loved one can be reframed as an opportunity to practice compassion and understanding. A setback in a project or a goal becomes a lesson in perseverance. When we view challenges through this lens, we empower ourselves to face them with purpose and resolve. One of the most powerful tools the Stoics used to cultivate this mindset was daily reflection. Reflection allows us to assess not only the events of the day, but also how we responded to them. Epictetus encouraged his students to spend time at the end of each day, reviewing their actions and emotions, asking questions like, did I act with integrity? Did I allow anger or frustration to control me? How could I respond better in the future? This practice of self-examination heightens our self-awareness, helping us recognize patterns in our thinking and behavior that we might otherwise overlook. By reflecting on our actions, we strengthen our commitment to live in alignment with our values, reinforcing our ability to approach life with resilience and wisdom. Daily reflection also cultivates a sense of gratitude and acceptance. When we pause to examine our lives, we often notice small blessings and victories that we may have taken for granted. Even on challenging days, this practice reminds us of the progress we've made, reinforcing our ability to navigate difficult times with grace. Reflection helps us to see that while we may not be able to control the circumstances we face, We have immense power over our responses, our attitudes, and our choices. This recognition instills a profound sense of peace, enabling us to face whatever comes with a steady heart. Ultimately, the power of reflection and the Stoic mindset lies in the way they transform our relationship with life itself. Through reflection, we learn to approach each day as an opportunity to grow, to refine our character, and to respond with intention. Life's difficulties no longer feel like random obstacles, but rather essential steps in our personal evolution. By reframing challenges as lessons, we not only reduce the emotional weight they carry, but also gain a sense of agency over our journey. In the end, the Stoic mindset empowers us to face the world with courage and clarity. It reminds us that we are not defined by what happens to us, but by how we choose to respond. By embracing reflection and cultivating a mindset rooted in acceptance and resilience, we open ourselves to a life of greater purpose, strength, and inner peace. Through each day's reflection, each mindful response, and each moment of acceptance, we come closer to embodying the wisdom of the Stoics, a life lived with grace, intention, and unwavering inner strength. 7. Living with purpose, mindfulness, and community. Living with a Stoic mindset isn't just about facing challenges with resilience. It's about creating a purposeful, mindful, and connected life. The Stoics believe that true fulfillment comes from aligning our daily actions with our core values, focusing our energy on what we can control, and embracing a sense of duty toward others. Stoic thinkers like Marcus Aurelius found great value in the practice of journaling, using it as a way to reflect on their intentions, align their actions with their values, and maintain perspective amid life's complexities. This daily exercise of self-reflection helped them cultivate mindfulness and gratitude, two qualities essential to living with clarity and purpose. Mindfulness for the Stoics is the practice of grounding ourselves in the present moment. Rather than allowing our thoughts to be dominated by past regrets or future anxieties, Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we are doing right now. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself that the present moment is the only time we truly possess. By concentrating on what we can do in this moment, whether it's fulfilling our responsibilities, practicing kindness, or simply taking a deep breath, we reclaim our power and reduce the influence of external events on our peace of mind. This approach helps counteract dissatisfaction and anxiety, grounding us in the reality of what is within our reach, rather than dwelling on what is beyond it. Gratitude also plays a key role in the Stoic mindset. Instead of taking life's blessings for granted, the Stoics made it a practice to recognize and appreciate what they already had. Practicing gratitude helps us shift our focus from what's lacking to what's present, countering the dissatisfaction that often arises from constant striving. When we take a moment each day to reflect on what we're grateful for, we cultivate a deep sense of contentment, reminding ourselves that much of what we need for a good life is already within our grasp. This perspective doesn't discourage ambition, but it grounds our pursuits in appreciation rather than in a sense of lack. Another important aspect of living with a Stoic mindset is cultivating a sense of community and acting for the greater good. The Stoics believe that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a larger human family. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the interconnectedness of all people, noting that individual well-being is intrinsically tied to the welfare of others. This perspective encourages us to act with kindness, empathy, and responsibility toward those around us. It reminds us that our actions have consequences not only for ourselves, but also for the broader community. For the Stoics, living with purpose means expanding our concerns beyond personal needs and ambitions. It involves considering how our choices impact others, whether that's in our personal relationships, in the workplace, or in society as a whole. By adopting this community-centered mindset, we align ourselves with a greater purpose, one that transcends self-interest. Acting for the benefit of others doesn't just enhance their well-being, it also reinforces our own sense of purpose, connecting us to a life of deeper meaning and fulfillment. Embracing the Stoic mindset also requires us to accept that change and loss are inevitable parts of life. The Stoics understood that everything we love, everything we possess, and even our own lives are subject to change. Rather than fearing this reality, they taught that peace comes from accepting it. This acceptance frees us from the anxiety of trying to control the uncontrollable and enables us to approach life with a sense of calm. By letting go of our attachment to outcomes and learning to appreciate things, for as long as we have them, we cultivate a resilience that helps us navigate life's inevitable changes with grace. Seneca spoke often about the transitory nature of life, encouraging us to appreciate our experiences without becoming overly attached to them. This isn't a call to detachment or emotional numbness, but rather an invitation to embrace the present fully without the fear of losing it. When we accept change and loss as natural, we reduce our suffering and increase our capacity to face life with an open heart. This mindset allows us to love and enjoy deeply, knowing that we can survive the loss when it comes. In sum, living with a Stoic mindset means embracing purpose, mindfulness, and community as guiding principles. It's about cultivating gratitude for the present moment, understanding our connection to others, and accepting life's impermanence. This approach doesn't eliminate life's difficulties, but transforms our experience of them, helping us live with resilience, compassion, and a sense of peace. By practicing these principles daily, we find a path to a life of greater meaning, fulfillment, and harmony. One that is centered not only on personal strength, but also on the strength that comes from connecting with others and accepting life's beautiful, fleeting nature. The Stoic journey isn't just about weathering life's storms. It's about learning to dance in the rain, finding purpose and peace, even in difficult moments. Embracing Stoicism empowers us to face life's challenges with resilience, inner strength, and a grounded sense of purpose. Each obstacle we confront and each hardship we endure doesn't simply pass. It leaves a mark, a lesson. It shapes us in ways that strengthen our character and expand our capacity to navigate life's ups and downs. The Stoic path reminds us that true power lies not in changing our circumstances, but in transforming our responses to them. Every challenge, every test of our patience, resilience, or compassion serves as an invitation to become a stronger, wiser, and more compassionate version of ourselves. Stoicism teaches us that the struggles we face are essential to the journey, the very steps that build our inner strength and refine our sense of purpose. With each experience, we move closer to the unshakable core within us, a place of wisdom, courage, and peace. Living with a Stoic mindset is a lifelong practice, a commitment to ourselves and to the world around us. It's a way of life that encourages us to embrace every day with intentionality, to face each challenge with an open heart, and to appreciate each moment as an opportunity for growth. By cultivating resilience, we equip ourselves to face adversity with calm and clarity, knowing that these moments are not interruptions to our lives, but integral parts of our journey. Thank you for joining today's exploration of Stoic philosophy. Remember, Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions or avoiding hardship. It's about embracing life fully, with both its joys and challenges, and finding strength in each step. If you're ready to dive deeper and explore how Stoicism can enhance your life, check out the suggested videos on your screen, where we delve further into practical Stoic practices for everyday life. Stay strong, stay wise, and remember to cultivate your inner strength each day. Let Stoicism be your guide, helping you to live a life of purpose, resilience, and peace. And as you go forward, keep in mind that while you may not always be able to control life's storms, you can always choose how to face them, with courage, patience, and the unwavering strength that Stoicism brings.